Hi, everyone. Welcome to Empowered with Gina. Now, how beautiful do I look today? Well, why? I'll tell you, because I'm interviewing makeup artist to the stars, Miss Meggan Ori, who is here with me at the ranch in Louisiana. Welcome, my friend.
Hello. I'm so excited to be here recording this podcast. This is so fun.
So you guys are seeing the finished product. We're doing something special this time. You're going to see after or before this segment, Meggan actually applying the face with her products, which is phenomenal. So we're going to jump right in and let's learn all about Meggan. So I always start by asking 3 adjectives to describe yourself.
Oh boy.
I know.
Put me on the spot. Okay. I would say type A.
Okay.
Yeah. Type A. I would say very caring.
Mm-hmm.
Caring. Type A. And oh man, this is hard.
I know, isn't that interesting? There's no wrong answers, which is the best part. It's just the first 3 that pop to your brain.
Yeah.
That's all.
Okay. Type A, caring, people pleaser.
People pleaser.
Yeah.
Okay. Where did Meggan grow up?
I grew up in the city of New Orleans, like New Orleans proper. Grew up in New Orleans, went to school in New Orleans. And then when I got married, we moved to Kenner.
Mm-hmm.
I live in Metairie now, which is right outside of New Orleans. Yeah.
So when you were a little girl, did you have aspirations to be a makeup artist?
No, I did not. Actually, I did not. I was not allowed to wear makeup growing up. My mom was very, very strict.
Really?
I did not start really wearing makeup. Actually, my mom put makeup on me for my 8th grade pictures, and that was a big deal.
Yeah.
But I did not start wearing makeup until maybe senior year of high school.
Okay.
So no, until I became a makeup artist, my path was to be a counselor, a marriage and family counselor. So that's actually what I went to school for.
Really?
And then graduated, got into grad school, did that for a little bit, did not finish grad school. That is when my makeup obsession became, this is something that I want to turn into an actual career, because that's all I thought about was makeup.
So I want to quickly ask, because I always ask people, I'm curious, how much was education pushed growing up? Because that's so interesting. Some families never even discussed it. Other families were just hyper militant.
It was big,
Okay.
My mom, her approach was very much like, you don't want to study, you don't want to do your homework, that's fine. You're the one that's going to suffer, kind of thing. So she pushed me, but she didn't over push me. I pushed myself. I'm very much a perfectionist, type A.
Yeah.
And for me, I had to finish school. I had to go to school. Like it was a me thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then so now, you're obviously a makeup artist now. Where was there a defining moment where you're like, that's the moment where I realized I'm going to make this a career?
Yes. So I graduated school with my bachelor's degree. I was in grad school, and I was also working at a gold company that sold like rare coins and
Like gold.
bullion and all that. And I would be on the computer, and every chance that I got, I was Googling makeup or looking at different makeup brands. And it was always like intrusive thoughts. And I'm like, I need to make this into a career.
Yeah.
Okay, let me backtrack. When I was 19, I started working at MAC Cosmetics. So all throughout college, I worked at various makeup counters.
Is it just for a job?
It was just a job.
Okay.
It was just something that I liked to do. I liked makeup. It was just a job. It wasn't like, this is going to be my career. It was just a fun job.
Yeah.
But when I started working at the gold company, that is when it was all I thought about. And that's when I decided to quit, go to Aveda and get my aesthetics license, because in the state of Louisiana, you have to be licensed to work as a makeup artist. I know all states aren't like that, but
Really?
in Louisiana you do. So that's when I decided to quit the job. I went to Aveda and got licensed. And I was also working at MAC while I was at Aveda part-time, and graduated Aveda. And, I was just doing like little freelance things, weddings here and there, just, prom, little freelance things here and there. And then there was one moment that was like a big turning point. I was married, and there was a local wedding magazine that used, without my permission, one of our engagement pictures to advertise for a naughty women's lingerie
No.
store. Yes.
What? This conversation just took a turn I wasn't expecting.
Yes.
What?
And, someone told me, I guess this person, it was my mother-in-law. She was looking through the magazine and she was like, what is this? And I did not give them permission. Our photographer gave them, I'm assuming he gave them the picture. So
No.
we have a friend of the family that was an attorney at the time, and he was like, this is outrageous,
Totally.
So I don't know. There was this voice in my head that said, Meggan, don't sue them.
Okay.
And I just didn't. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna let it go. And it was the best decision I've ever made, because the editor of that magazine asked me to do a shoot, and he put the model that I did on the cover. And that was the turning point in my career.
Stop.
Mm-hmm. From that moment, that's when my career took a huge turn as a makeup artist. And this was before social media. So that's when, brides looked at magazines.
Yeah.
That's when the calls started every day. I was getting calls. Can you do wedding makeup for me? And so I listened to that voice.
So that's so interesting, because a lot of people will be going through a totally traumatizing, embarrassing thing that happens to them, which is very embarrassing, I would think. And it's your wedding pictures, or your engagement.
Engagement.
Still.
Yeah.
And I'm sure in that moment you never would have thought what could happen to you.
Right.
And you were probably pretty devastated.
I was very devastated. It was very embarrassing. But I don't know. It's just that higher power, that sixth sense that was like, don't sue them. And if I would have sued them, I would not have gotten that shoot.
Burned that bridge.
And no one, my work was put out there at that point, for everyone to see in New Orleans.
Wow.
That was the turning point.
Okay. So that's the turning point. You start getting booked. So you're already freelancing, but then
it got elevated to a whole nother level.
Through just this strange situation.
Yes. Very.
I mean, there's always a way things are going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you're getting booked nonstop. Then what happens?
So that's when I decide, I have, doing my clients' makeup. What lipstick are you using? What foundation are you using? And then, I would send them to Sephora or the Mac counter or whatever, to get that product. And I thought to myself, how nice would it be if I had my own products? Yes. And also, how nice would it be if I didn't have a million foundations in my bag? I just had a few foundations that matched everyone that I made. How much easier would my life be?
Oh my gosh.
And how amazing would it be if I had these products to send these women home with?
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I started trying to figure out how to make my own makeup. And for the life of me, I cannot remember how I stumbled across this local lady that made lip glosses. She was not a cosmetic lab. Mm-hmm. She just did it for fun. So I started working with her, and she would make the most beautiful shades for me. But it was humble beginnings. We sourced a bunch of lip gloss, 1,000 lip gloss tubes, right? Mm-hmm. She fills them all with this beautiful lip gloss that she made. Oh, no. And then the tube starts sweating, which means that the lip gloss starts running out of the crevices, and I had put all of my money into this. Oh. And I've got the lip glosses all over my house, all over the counters, everywhere, hoping that it sweats and then they dry up and then I can still sell it. And I'm like, what am I going to do? I just wasted all this money. Yeah. And I had to throw them all away. Oh. And that is how I'm like, okay, I can't use this woman anymore. She makes these really pretty colors, but this isn't working out. She doesn't know anything about real cosmetic packaging and all the things. So that is when I really started digging deep into, where do these big companies get their products made?
Yes, I think that all the time.
Yeah. And figured it out. And then I started working with these huge cosmetic labs and little me, knocking on their door.
Wow.
And, the rest is, the history is still in making.
Sure.
But, yeah.
But again, another situation where it was devastating and expensive this
very
time.
Very expensive, yes.
And you didn't have a makeup brand. You were investing some seriously hard-earned money.
Yes. All of my money into this. Yes. And I had a family to take care of. And
were you a mom at this point?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Okay. In that moment, devastation. Worst thing that could happen to me. But because of that, you could have lived in that devastation and let it define the situation for you. But you used it as a lesson.
Yes. Yeah. And that is like if there's any advice I can give anyone starting any sort of, business, you want to be an entrepreneur, don't give up. That is the biggest piece of it. If you feel in your heart and your bones and your soul that this is right, this is what you're supposed to be doing, there is a way. And sometimes you have to fall and learn from the fall. And then when you get up, you're even stronger. That is the best advice I can give.
So I come to New Orleans or Louisiana a lot. And just to tell you how busy this woman is, in all the times I visit over the last few years, we have not been able to connect. We're in touch.
Yeah.
But her busy schedule or my schedule, whatever, prevents us. But I was able, and I'm so grateful that you did my makeup today and that you're here, and it's really beautiful.
Thank you for having me. This was wonderful.
Absolutely. Yes. But I want to talk lastly about your products, because I only promote and talk about things that I believe in, that are quality, and that I use. And I'm always texting you, and you see on Instagram, the face. And people ask me, what's on your skin? And obviously it's good skincare, and I take care of my skin.
Yes.
But talk to me about this, all your products, but this primer that has changed the world.
Yes. So the Gorgeous Glow Primer, she is very, very popular. It's beautiful. The formula is beautiful. I'm so proud of it because it is something that I really put all of myself into, and it's very unique. I don't know any other product on the market that's like it.
Same.
So it's very, very unique because it's got that really silky, non-sticky base, but it still gives you that beautiful glow and that tint. So it's something that I'm very, very proud of.
And you should be, because it's so practical that I will wear it. And I shared this with you earlier. I'll wear it just on my day, picking the kids up, going to work.
Yes.
Lotion, the primer, concealer, and eyes.
Right.
And it looks like your skin is alive and healthy. And so, again, I am telling you all, go and buy it immediately. It is so good. And if you see my skin and you want to know what it is, it's the primer. So you're welcome. So, okay, how can people reach out to you and follow you?
So my Instagram handle is @MakeupByMeggan Cosmetics. Reach me personally.
Or just to find your products and follow you.
shop.makeupbymeggan.com.
Yes. And we're going to put all the information here at the bottom. So again, Meggan, thank you, my friend. I'm so grateful for you. And I'd love to have you back, and we can go over the actual products themselves and talk more makeup.
Yes. This was great. Thank you so much, Gina.
Thank you. I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you. Okay. Welcome to Empowered with Gina podcast. And this is my first ever Get Ready With Me makeup application podcast episode. And I have none other than Meggan Ori here, makeup artist to the stars, based in New Orleans. And she is here to do my makeup so I can look like her.
No, I'm going to make Gina look like the best version of Gina.
Yay.
Yes.
So
we're
let's do
super
it.
excited.
Let's
get started.
Okay. I'm so excited. The glow up.
The glow up. So we're going to do
Okay, so what do you put on typically first?
Okay, so I'm starting with a little moisturizer. This is I could be saying this wrong. Embroilysis. I should know how to say this. But Gina's skin is pretty well prepped already. She has beautiful skin. So, and I can tell that she gives it a lot of love and care. So just a little moisturizer.
Talk about that. How important is investing in the canvas of the face?
So I will tell you, like I tell everyone, your makeup is only going to look only as good as your skin.
That's it.
So, when if you're not taking care of your skin, if you're not exfoliating, if you're not doing all the things, and you can't expect this flawless, beautiful makeup finish that's not going to look cakey. So take care of your skin.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's more important than makeup. Yes.
All right. So for people at home who don't have a Meggan to help them all the time, what step do we take first? First, moisturize.
Okay. So my advice for perfect skin is actually pretty simple. So you don't need a million skincare products. You really don't. You just need to make sure you're cleansing your skin properly. So double cleansing is so important. You can't put on all this skincare on dirty skin or skin that's not properly cleansed. It's not going to work right. So we need to make sure we're double cleansing. And in the morning, you don't necessarily have to wash your face in the morning. You can just rinse with some water really, really well. But at night, it's so important to double cleanse. So that's step one. Retinol. That I can't stress it anymore.
Really?
We need a retinol. anti-aging.
Okay, anti-aging.
So
Here we go.
everyone needs a retinol.
Okay, are you putting on what I think you are?
Gorgeous Glow Primer. Okay. So this is Gina's favorite.
You guys, you all compliment my makeup and skin all the time. And I'm going to tell you right now, Meggan is not with me every day doing my makeup, unfortunately. But she kind of is because she has this gorgeous glow primer. And I have posted about this and I stand by this product. It is transformative. The consistency of this beautiful primer is beautiful. It has like this iridescence to it.
It's a pearl. Yes.
I'm rarely impressed by products. I'll tell you that right now. I have this stocked everywhere I would possibly put my makeup on. So you need to buy one immediately. You will thank me later. This is everything. And I've literally not seen a product like this in a while. So tell me how you created this.
Yeah, so Gorgeous Glow Skin Enhancing Primer. So it's a primer. It's got a beautiful silky silicone base. So that's really going to smooth out your skin, really give it that really smooth finish. If you have any rough spots or large pores, that's what that silicone base is going to do, really smooth everything out. But it also has this beautiful crushed pearl in it, and that gives that beautiful luminosity to the skin, and it has a tint. So I'm going to put some on the back of my hand here so you can see it's got this beautiful bronzy tint that's pretty sheer once you work it into the skin. So I know a lot of ladies love to put this on every morning over their SPF because we should be using SPF every single day. Put some concealer under their eyes.
That's it.
And the skin just looks healthy and glowy. So
yes.
Yeah, but
this is my go-to look for work, like just a work day.
Yeah.
Moisturizer, your primer, concealer, and then my eyes. Because it does something to my skin I've not seen in a long time. And so I can't talk about this product enough. I love it. I love it
too. All right. So her skin prep is done, and now I'm going to move into foundation.
Okay. So tell me about the makeup you've created. You have how many products in your line?
I should know the answer to this off the top of my head.
It's okay.
But let's see. We have I'm just going to maybe 12, 13 products. Yeah. So my foundation. So I started off, very humble beginnings with 7 foundation shades, only 7. And I know that's crazy nowadays. Like how can she only have 7 foundation shades? But I can honestly tell you, I have never run across one customer that has not been able to find their shade.
Really?
So when I was working on this foundation as a small brand, I could not have 20 shades, right? So I really had to zone in on which shades are going to match most women. And my assistants at the time can tell you I had this tray of all of these foundation samples, and we had a notepad. And every time we would do someone's makeup, we would check off which shade we used. And I narrowed it down to the 7 most used shades.
Interesting.
So that's how I have to this day, that's why I haven't added a shade. I haven't had any issues.
Wow.
Right.
That's impressive.
So I think I'm gonna use Tan on Gina, the Expensive Skin Cream Foundation in the shade Tan. So
what mistake do you think people make when they go to maybe a makeup store? And we've all seen it where their face doesn't match their neck or their shoulders. How do they avoid doing that?
So I think a really big issue when it comes to going to makeup stores is the lighting in makeup stores.
Okay.
So when you go to the MAC counter or the Estee Lauder counter or the Sephora, right? The lighting in the mall is terrible. So they're matching you for that lighting. So that's mistake number 1. And I know this from working for MAC for years. You have to go outside and check. So here's a tip.
Wow.
Put your foundation on and tell them you'll be right back, and go outside, take your phone camera, and make sure it matches your neck.
Yeah, it makes all the difference. I would think so, right?
So that's a big reason I think that a lot of ladies end up with the wrong shade. Okay, so I'm going to go in with shade Tan on Gina. Let me just double check. So I'm going to actually swipe some on her neck right here. And yeah, I think I'm going to use shade Tan. I'm going to drag it down her neck here. Yeah.
Why the neck?
Because we need to be in the same zip code, right? The face and the neck. We can't have our face a little off, right?
Oh.
So
no,
drag it down the neck. So everything is one. And then also the texture is going to match. You don't want to have this perfectly smooth face and not this perfectly smooth neck, right?
Oh,
so never. We want to always drag our makeup down our neck. And then if you're wearing something with your shoulders or chest out, take a little bit of your foundation, maybe mix it with a little lotion, and rub it on your chest. That way it's all one.
Never have I ever thought of doing that.
All right. So do you prefer your makeup to be more glowy?
Glowy.
Okay. So I'm going to put a drop of my citrine beauty oil into the foundation compact. So this is a cream, full coverage cream foundation. And the oil is just going to give it a glow boost. Okay. So this is an antioxidant beauty oil. You can use it for a plethora of things, but one of my favorite ways to use it is in the foundation to give it a little bit of a glow. I'm big on multi-use products. Products that can be used for more than one thing. So, you know, with a cream foundation, any makeup artist can tell you, you can do a whole face with cream. You can do eyes, you can do lips, you can do skin, you can do everything. So any pro makeup artist, they're going to have a palette of creams in their kit because you can do an entire face with creams. Wow. You can thin them out. You can mix them with things.
What about the crease? That's why I don't do creams on my eyes, because I'm like, what about all the folds and the crease?
So use a good primer. Use a good primer.
You see?
Yeah. So.
And cream blushes. I just don't know how to use that.
I am going to use a cream blush on you today. So I'll show you how to use the cream blush.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, they scare me. I'm intimidated by them because I say, and again, I'm probably not prepping right because I'll get the line or the crease and it all gets stuck in there and that looks terrible.
Right. So I always use a primer or a good concealer to prep the eyes to prevent that from happening. And I always nude out the lips when I do makeup, as you can see.
Why?
Because it's like painting on a dirty piece of paper versus a white piece of paper. You want to start with everything the same color. That way there's no distractions, right? You know, our lips are really pink or really red sometimes. They have a lot of color. So for me personally, I always like to nude out the lips. So I'm actually just doing like a medium coverage on you because your skin is so beautiful. You don't need a ton.
Thank you.
You know? So why put on a ton if you don't need it?
That's right.
Okay. So how does that feel?
Beautiful and light.
Yeah.
And it feels hydrating. It doesn't feel dry. Sometimes I'll get makeup on and right away it feels like, oh my gosh, my skin's so dry.
Yeah.
And I hate that.
So that's the beauty of a cream. It's practically weightless. It doesn't feel like you're putting a wet, sticky formula on your skin. It's just weightless, which is really, really nice. And it's got an ingredient called nylon 5 in it that moves with your skin. It mimics the texture of skin. So that's why it looks so pretty on the skin. All right. Moving into concealer.
This is my favorite. I love a good under eye concealer. It just brings me back to life. Especially like just for any look, like running to take the kids to school or like a glam night. The under eye concealer for me is life on earth.
We all need concealer. All right.
Do you do what they call setting? I've been hearing and seeing a lot of it on social media, the setting.
Oh God, yeah.
What is that and why do people do it?
Okay, so we have to set our concealer. Okay, now let me explain 2 different scenarios here. If, you know, this is just every day you're popping some concealer on under your eyes in the morning so you don't look tired, that doesn't need to be set because you just, a tiny bit. But if you're doing a full glam, we need to set it, right? That is what's going to keep your makeup in place and make it last all day and all night is setting it. So I'm going to apply Gina's concealer, your concealer, and then we're going to set it, but not quite yet. Okay. So we have to set, especially under the eyes. If you're a human being, you have creases under your eyes. I don't care how old you are, right? You don't want that creasing throughout the day and becoming a hot mess.
Oh, no.
Right. So we have to set it. Do you not set your makeup usually?
I don't.
No? Not even when you do like a full face?
Full face, yeah. I mean, I'll put powder, but I don't understand the
concept of setting the under eyes. Okay.
I see how they get the little triangle pad and they put like that pink white powder under the eye.
Okay.
I don't know how to do that because I feel like I'll look like a clown.
Okay. Well, I'm going to show you how to do it today. You're not going to look like a clown. I'll never make you look like a clown. All right. Look up.
But yeah, I think about it and I see how they do it on social media and I'm like, that is so beautiful. Yeah. And it makes sense. But if I do it, it doesn't
work out. Okay.
And I also don't know what color to do.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to use my Tiffany powder, which is a loose translucent powder. So that's going to match everybody. Oh. No matter what. Oh. It doesn't have a color.
Okay.
So it's for everyone. All right. Isn't that the softest sponge? Feel that?
It's beautiful.
Yes.
Oh. Where is this from?
This is mine. It's mine. It's my pear sponge. Yeah.
You have, this is your product?
Yeah. Isn't it so soft?
Like, I almost want to bite it and eat it.
Don't do that.
No, that's not, only because you like the texture of a sponge cake. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
I won't bite it and eat it, but I mean, I thought about it. This is beautiful. Okay, now I need to know how you found such quality products. Like, not just the products itself, but even the tools.
Right. Lots of research. Right. Lots of research. My husband actually designed this sponge. Funny story. So he's an engineer. He's a civil engineer, but he does a lot of structural work. And the company that made this sponge, I wanted this pear shape. I was dead set on having it to be a pear on one side and then flat on the other side, because you can use the pointy side, the flat pointy side, to blend under the eyes and target areas. You can use the fat side for foundation, like that. I needed options. Again, I'm multi-use. I needed options.
Yeah.
So he sketched this like to the T, like sketched it.
Wow.
And I gave it to the company and I said, this is what I want.
Another power couple edition. I mean, really, right?
No, my husband is responsible for a lot of things. Like
That's
when
wonderful.
it comes to
That's wonderful.
a lot of things that I don't know how to do, he does.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we are applying what to my eyelid?
I'm just taking a little bit of that concealer that I put under your eyes, and I'm actually using it to create an eyeshadow base.
Why is it important to create an eyeshadow base?
So this is doing two things. This is getting rid of any discoloration on the eyelid, right? Because we want all that covered up.
We want that blank canvas, right? And also, you need something for your eyeshadow to stick to. And that's what, a concealer or an eyeshadow primer does. You always have to prime your eyes. It doesn't have to be an actual eyeshadow primer. It can just be a concealer. And I have very red eyelids. I was born that way. The skin on my eye. I actually have people all the time that DM me and ask me like what eyeshadow I have on. I'm like, I don't.
Really?
It's just my eyelids. I'm not lying about not having eyeshadow. It's just my eyelids. So yeah, you have to get rid of all that. You have to, all right, open. Yeah, and you can just use that every day. Like, just like
so good.
every day. Okay. Now we're going to start a little cream contour.
Contour.
Okay.
This is a big one, guys. The contouring. That's another slippery slope for some people.
Yes, it is.
Me included.
Yes, it is. Even for me sometimes, I get stuck.
Sometimes we don't blend it correctly, and then it looks like we have like lines and very pronounced bruises on our cheeks. How do we talk about contouring? I feel like that's kind of a newer-ish concept, maybe for the mass public. I'm sure makeup artists have always been using it, but talk to me about it, and at home for somebody who wants to do it. What are some rules?
Okay, so less is more, especially if you're not great with contouring. Don't put a ton of product on because that has to be blended out. So start with a little bit, blend it out, and then if you've got the right technique going, maybe add a little more, but definitely less is more. And not everyone's face is different, so you've got to contour for your face. All right, so turn your head this way.
So why are you doing it there?
A tiny bit.
Well, so your cheekbone's right here, right? The top of your ear is here. So always start at the top of the cheekbone and place it right under where the cheekbone is, right there.
Okay. And you don't want to put it too low because then it's going to drag your face down.
Oh.
So you have to keep it high enough. Okay. All right. And you have a tiny forehead.
I do have a tiny
So
forehead.
we don't need to contour Gina's forehead. I'm more going to bronze it. See, I just put a tiny bit just to add some color there. Just so that everything kind of ties in. But, you have a small forehead. I have a small forehead.
Hey.
So we don't need to put a ton of product there. All right. So I'm just going to add a little bit of this contour shade under her lip to create a shadow. And that's just going to make her lips, define her lips a little. You have a beautiful lip shape. That Cupid's bow is perfect. Just like that. And then I'm going to take a little bit and contour your nose. Do you like your nose contoured? Yeah. And I'm actually using an eyeshadow brush to do this.
Really?
Yeah.
The whole thing? You've done the whole thing?
Oh, just these
the
little
nose.
areas, the nose and the eyes. I'm using an eyeshadow brush so that I can be very precise with it. Okay. So there, I've kind of carved out where I want your eyes. There we go. Okay. And then a little under the jaw, right here, right there.
Which creates like a defined look.
Yes. A shadow, which creates more of a defined look. Yeah. Okay. And that's all the contouring I'm going to do. Gina. All right. I'm also going to add a little concealer around your mouth to give you a little bit of a lift.
Okay. So let's talk about lifting and the illusion of creating fuller lips, because a lot of people want to do that too. So you just put contouring underneath and on top.
Right.
Now what are you going to do?
So now I'm going to add a little bit of concealer around your mouth. I'm going to show you in a second. Let me clean this brush. Okay. So with that same, so we want this to look more lifted. Okay. Because as we get older, not that you're old, but as we
I'm
get
44,
older,
it's fine. I love it.
as we get older, this starts to drop, right? So I'm going to just kind of drag that up like that.
Is this the same concealer you put under my eyes?
Yeah. It's a little brighter. I mixed it to be a little brighter, but same thing. And I'm also going to do the same thing with the eyes, but after I do the eyeshadow. Okay? So now we're going to blend all of this out. Okay. Just like that. All right. So now we're going to blend. So this brush 03 does everything.
Okay, so you have tools as well.
Yes.
So Meggan has her own tool set, meaning the brushes,
Yes.
the sponge.
Yes.
Okay, so are all brushes made equally?
No.
Okay,
No.
that's what I thought.
No. And I will say I will never come out with a product without the corresponding brush. There's always going to be a brush. Either it's a brush I already have or a brush that I'm going to make, because you have to have the right tools to have a successful makeup application.
Right.
So I will always have brushes. Okay. No, all brushes are not made the same.
Okay.
You know?
So like at a drugstore, the little cheap ones.
Now, some of the drugstore brushes are good. You know, it just depends on the brand.
Yeah. I love a good drugstore brand though.
Yeah.
Sometimes they've got it going on.
It is exciting when you find a good drugstore brand. It is.
yes.
You're like, oh, bargain.
Yes.
And it works.
Yes.
What's like one of your favorite drugstore products?
Koki?
Koki?
Koki? Do you know it?
No.
It is this bronzer, but I use it as eyeshadow and like a bronzer. It is multi-use.
Koki?
Again, I love a good multi-use
Yeah.
as well. It's from Rite Aid.
Okay.
I'll send you a picture of it.
Yeah, I've never heard of this brand.
Or Coco. Maybe I'm saying it wrong.
I love it.
It has a little bear on it.
Okay.
But it's just easy. It looks great on the eyelid and just to give me some color.
Yeah.
And then L'Oreal's always a good one. Elf.
Oh, I haven't tried anything from Elf.
Yeah, there's a few products I'm pretty happy with.
Okay, cool. All right. And I'm going to blend this out. It's a lot of little steps to get to the final product. Okay.
So it's more creating the illusion, right? It's less
Yeah.
like about putting a ton of product.
Right. Especially if you don't need it. Like you have beautiful skin, so you don't need to cake on a bunch of product. Why?
So what about people who have maybe more mature skin and they're like, oh, well, my skin has too many wrinkles. I can't do what she does. I can't have the look that she has.
So there's a lot of truth to that, right? So makeup is a lot of times it's going to enhance those fine lines and wrinkles, you know? So unfortunately, there's not much as a makeup artist I can do about that. Especially if you want like a full glam look.
Right.
You have to put.
But what you can do is make them look amazing where they are in their life. And what their skin is.
And I'm a big proponent of, for older women, just enhancing their natural features, not putting a ton of makeup on them, just enough to enhance them, make them look pretty, but not to put a ton of makeup on. Yeah.
Because that just won't look great.
No.
On anyone.
No.
Of any age.
No. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with that Tiffany powder, that loose translucent powder I was telling you about.
Now what are we doing?
Put your chin down for me. Okay, now look up only with your eyes. Like this, like that. Chin up a little bit. Okay, so the key. So we're going to smooth out with our handy dandy pear sponge any creases that are under the eyes, any concealer that has creased, because you don't want to set creases. If you put powder over a crease, well, it's going to stay creased. Okay, we're going to take a little bit of that loose translucent powder.
So you're using the same sponge?
Yes, yes. And I don't put like a ton under the eye and just let it sit and bake. I don't know if you've seen that, you know.
Yes.
That's not my way. So I just put a little bit on my sponge and I press it into the skin until it disappears. So that's just my way. I like that way because I don't want it to look super dry under the eyes. So I just press it. And then it also smooths out the under eye really, really nicely, just like that. Okay, let's see. Now your under eyes are set. Wow. Okay. And look at how, you know, it's completely clear on your skin.
It's beautiful. And that could go for any skin color.
Any skin tone.
But it looks white.
Yes. So you put it on.
And it just disappears.
Rub it in and it disappears. Yeah. So, all right. Now, this is one of my favorite parts of makeup. All right. We're going to go in with, I love a powder foundation. Okay. I love a powder that acts like a foundation. And that is what my Expensive Skin powder is. It is a powder foundation. So it's about a medium coverage. I should have named it Paris Filter. You know, the swipe right.
The Paris one.
Because I feel like that's what it does to the skin. This is a very popular product in my line.
Second edition.
Yes.
Rename.
If I repackage it, I'm going to change it to the Paris Filter. All right. So I think you're going to be suntan. Let me see. Okay. So I'm going to mix suntan and Cafe LA for you. And I'm just going to press that over your skin here. So this is adding a little bit more coverage and really smoothing out your skin's texture.
And this is what the powder foundation, a good powder foundation.
Yes, the Expensive Skin powder. Yes. Love a powder foundation.
And we're going to list all the products in the caption of this episode so that you guys can go online and buy everything she's referencing yourself.
I'm going to do a coupon code for you. For your
coupon code. You see,
listeners.
I'm saving you money. Yeah. You're welcome. Well, I am. I'm snatching your face and saving you money. Like besties. Okay. That's what a best friend does.
Yeah, that's what they do. Best friends.
Besties.
Help best friends
They
save.
sure do.
All right. So that looks so good. I wish you could see.
Oh, I love it already.
Okay.
Like, it feels beautiful. It doesn't feel like I have anything on.
Yeah. All right. Let's add some dimension back to your skin. Okay. Actually, let's do eyebrows.
Ooh, eyebrows. My favorite.
Let's do eyebrows. Just bring those back to life. Okay. Let's see. Oh, your beautiful eyebrows.
Thank you. I do them myself.
What?
Yes.
How?
I
What's
do
your
them
secret?
myself. I don't know. A steady hand.
Do you thread? No, you don't thread.
No,
them.
I used to. I used to get them threaded.
Oh, I was going to say you thread your
I learned how to do it. I because I hated going to that place.
Wait, you learned how to thread your own brows?
Yeah, you just tie it and then you twist it and then you pull.
Gina,
pull,
you're a genius.
Pull. I am a genius. No, like doing those kind of things I can. Absolutely. But I didn't like how sharp it made the look. And
it can do that.
It was a time for that, but now I like more of the natural soft look. So now I buy wax strips at the drugstore and tweezers. And then like those little face shaver things to get the just precision or like touch-ups.
Wow.
But that's it. And then I just stay true to the shape.
Yeah. I mean, you don't need a lot with your brows. With makeup-wise, I mean, not a lot. That's impressive. I can't do that to my brows to save my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I still love the sharp brow. But I also love the natural brow. I love them both. There's a time and place.
Yeah.
For the sharp brow.
Yeah, no, they're beautiful. With like the precision of a good sharp, like threaded brow, it's like whoa.
I know. I remember the brow days. The early, what was it, like 2016, 2015. Everybody we used to at MAC, we called them concealer brows, you know, because everyone would just paint the concealer on their brows. Concealer brows. Okay. I'm not going to do much to your brows. You have good brows. Okay. So now like I said, we're going to add some dimension back to your skin. Okay. So I'm going to actually do a cream bronzer over all of this.
Okay.
But I think most people, when they're doing cream bronzers, they're just doing it over like foundation. Okay. You know, like just like a wet kind of dewy look, but that's not what
So you could put cream, you're not putting cream bronzer.
No, I'm just adding some dimension.
Would you add cream bronzer over the powder you've already put?
Okay, so typically no, but I am going to do it. I've discovered a new way that I like to do it. that works because I do like to layer my products, especially like for photo shoots or important events. The more layered, like thin layers, the better. So I'm going to show you how to do that. It's something I discovered. All right. So a little bronzer. This is my bronzer in the shade 2. And I'm just, doing the 3 and the E.
Is this different than the contouring you did earlier?
Yes. This is covering a wider space, right? So when you contour, it's very precise, right? When we're bronzing, it covers a larger space. And it adds color back to the skin. Dimension. Because remember, we took away all that dimension when we put the foundation on, right? So we've got to add that back. Okay.
Okay, so a good question is when people have to be on camera or are speaking on stage, you can't rely on just your regular way of doing your makeup.
Right. So I would do your makeup a lot heavier so that it shows, because the lights blow everything out, right? So you do have to do it a lot heavier. So we started off doing your makeup just for not that, but we are on camera, so
yeah,
I do have to put more on you. I think that should work. Okay, so typically we would not put cream blush over a powder, right? But this is the way that I like to do it. So I like to take my brush 04. So this is a cream, right? And usually you can just do your fingers, but we can't do that because it'll mess everything up.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take this brush. It's a synthetic brush.
Okay.
I'm just going to get some on the brush like that. And then I'm going to kind of like get the excess off. And I'm going to have you smile just a little bit. And I'm going to tap it on your cheek. All right. I'm not rubbing it.
Why not?
Because it's a cream. And if we rub that over powder, it's going to move everything.
Oh,
It's
no.
going to look cakey. So we don't want to rub it. We just want to tap it.
So always tap.
But you have to use a brush. A synthetic brush, not a natural hair brush.
Why?
Because a natural hair brush is too scratchy and it's going to move the powder.
You see?
Okay.
Little things, us lay people don't think about.
All right, now I'm going to go in with your powder blush.
But this is what makes all the difference in the world when you see the people on TV and you're like, how it comes down to the tools and the
technique.
The technique,
Yes.
okay.
And if you notice, like I constantly wipe the excess off. So I'm always afraid that there's going to be too much product on the brush and then it gets stuck on the skin and then I can't blend it out. So it's just something that I do. I always take off the excess because you can always add. You can't take away if you mess up on the skin.
The worst.
So it's better just to work safely. All right. I'm going to do like a really nice monochromatic look on you so that everything kind of flows. So we're going to do this bronzy cheek, a bronzy smoky eye, and a nude lip. Okay?
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're going to do the eyes. We're going to do a quick time lapse because this requires her full attention. And so we do not want to talk during it. And then we'll check back in once they're done. Yeah. Okay.
All right, so just popping a little highlighter on you now that the eyes are done, a little bit of glow. That's soft glow too. And I actually love using the darker highlighter as a bronzer, as a glowy bronzer. So I'm putting that over your bronzer just for a little bit of a glow.
And you're putting just a little bit.
Just a tiny bit. Oh yeah, just a tiny bit.
That's another mistake people make.
Yeah.
They put a ton of it and then it looks like...
Right. Well, this is a highlighter, so you definitely want a little bit if you're using it as a bronzer because it would be too shiny.
And highlight should be used sparingly.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Okay. All right, now let's do your lips. Let's do a pretty nude lip.
Okay, so now we've reached the grand finale, the lips. And do we always do lips last?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we do lips last. Oh, and one thing we didn't talk about because we cut to go do my eyes. I'm terrified of doing my eyes after my face is done because all the powder falls here.
Yeah.
How do we prevent that?
So basically you want to make sure under your eyes is powdered, right?
Okay.
And so if there is any fallout, you want to flick it off immediately because if it has time to set, then it's going to stay.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
All right, so I am just going to create a nude lip. So it's really important to use lip liner with a nude lip, because if not, you're going to look washed out.
Mm-hmm.
So this is my soft brown lip liner, which is just that, a soft brown. I'm sorry. It is Pretty Nude, and it is a soft brown. The shade name is Pretty Nude. So I'm just going to outline your lips. And then here, I'm going to overline slightly to give you a lip, a little bit more of a pout. And I love my lip liners because they don't tug at the lips at all. They're so creamy.
Mm-hmm.
So you can feel them not pulling.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love MAC's lip liners, the shades, but they tug. It's so hard to apply. But I do love their shades. Okay, smile for me. So that helps sometimes. Really get it on there if you smile. All right, relax. Okay, beautiful. Okay.
And now we're doing a matte lip. I cannot stand a matte lip when it just feels like
dry.
It's a desert on my mouth, and it is a nightmare, and they're difficult to take off.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to put a little bit of a gloss on you.
Okay.
So this is my Pretty Nude lipstick. I have it in my palette. I depot my lipstick so that I'm not putting lipsticks on, you know, sharing lipsticks.
Sure.
But this is Pretty Nude. This is the shade that I have on too. This is my favorite lipstick in my line.
You're always wearing it.
Yes,
This is your look. This is your signature look.
This is my favorite. It's a peachy nude. It's a matte lipstick, peachy nude. And I love this color. This is my jam. Let's see. You see, I'm not covering the lip liner. I'm filling in. Okay, let's see, press your lips together. Okay. So pretty. Let's see. And I'm just gonna put a little bit of gloss, mainly just so that her lips don't look too dry because it is a matte.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is this your gloss too?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Then we're not going to talk about it.
I am redoing my glosses, so. But it's pretty much the same color as the lipstick. It's just in the gloss. Like your teeth. Like your teeth. Okay. So I love a balance. If you have a smoky eye, you got to have a nude lip. Can't have lips and eyes. It's just too much coming at you. All right. And now, I can set it with some setting spray. All right, so look straight for me. All right. Don't rub your lips together, because I don't want to cover up this up. All right, so now I'm going to set your makeup with some setting spray. This is going to marry everything together. All right, look down for me. Keep your eyes open, and when I spray you, don't flinch. 1, 2, 3.
Ooh, and it smells good.
Yes, it does. It's got some cucumber in it.
Oh.
All right, so I'm just pressing that in with the fat part of my sponge. All right, look straight in there. There you have it.
Voila. See how easy that was?
Yeah. So easy.
Okay, this is incredible, and I love this. Here we go. You saw it. You saw it here first. I didn't wake up like this, but using Meggan's products, you can look like this. So we're going to literally link everything in the caption because I believe in these products. I'm a super fan. I use them all the time, not just today. And I want to share it and bring good quality products to the world. So Meggan, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. It was wonderful.
Thank you. Do we look like twins?